know what it is. Speed shop roots stitched into this. Funky brims collab across that line. Caps and flannel, same state of mind. No talk, no hype, just real ones recognize. Oh, hells yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Yes, yeah. Dust in the thread. Hells yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Hells yeah. Flannel on. Hells yeah. Caps low. Hells yeah. Real ones. Hells yeah. Gentlemen's Roundtable. Hells yeah.
Gentlemen's Roundtable featuring Hales Legendary Flannels, April 14th, 7:30 p.m. Central.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the Gentlemen's Roundtable, where we have, of course, our normal guys, and we actually have Hales, who we are honored to have joining us tonight to shed a little bit light on the flannel side. So we're going to go ahead and go first. We're going to go around the table here and explain what we got on here. I got the Villa Margarita on with the orange cap. This is the Villa Margarita, and it's the collabs that they've done with Funky Brims. I've been a sucker for those. And go ahead, Ant. What do you got, buddy?
What's going on, Anox? I got the Hales Funky Brims Butcher collab on, which is my favorite one. And I'm a huge fan of the Gangs of New York movie, being from New York, being an Irish guy from New York. So this really got me, the Butcher collab.
Yeah. What's going on? My name is Brandon at Dub's Hat Hub. I'm wearing the Slasher with the Hales flannel. And I don't usually do plaid on plaid, but I'm making an exception with this because it looks really good. So props to you guys for this one.
I'm Chad from YouTube channel First 508th Airborne. I have the Hales Funky Brims Imperial cap. This is a pretty cool cap. I like this one a lot. Yeah. And then I also have on a flannel from Filson. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Hey everybody, we're the Hales team. I'm Jenna Hale.
Nathan Hale.
My husband Nathan.
Colin Edwards.
And I am in a sneak peek tonight. I'm not going to tell you the name, but it is in an upcoming release in the month of April.
Nice.
Nice. I like the color.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a sharp looking
Very
bullet.
much so. Most definitely.
So the first thing I want to say is just thank you for coming on. We do appreciate it. It's good to finally actually meet you and get you on the round table here. And as you know, most of the people out in the cap game just happen to have flannels as well, and they pair very well. And now, as you can see, most of us also have beards. But yeah, so we're just curious, how did it all start?
I'm going to let Nathan start.
How did it all start? I mean, that's a long story. I'll shorten it up as much as possible.
We're going to rotate a little tonight, y'all.
I didn't really overthink it. I just played the cards that I had dealt to me, and I had some car stuff around me. My motocross career didn't quite pan out, so the next available option was doing this car stuff, and it just naturally played out. There was no business plan to it at all, and it just evolved into what it is today with no effort. I mean, a lot of effort, but no forcing it at all. It just became what it become.
So 25 years ago, he started a hot rod business, and we were already dating at the time. And he decided, we had a couple names that we went through in the hot rod world, and we landed on using our last name. We weren't married yet, but we knew we were going to be.
I started with another name just in the beginning to see if it was something that I was going to enjoy, because I wasn't going to get into it, not enjoy the journey that was going to be laid out with it. So after I kind of realized that this was probably going to stick and work, I put my last name on it and just went with it.
Nice.
Cool.
And then about 6 years ago, Colin came on board. He was sick of his job, corporate job, just working that 9-to-5 kind of typical stressful life. He came to Nathan, and Nathan wanted a shop shirt, and he hand drew a shop shirt for us. And so it said Hale Speed Shop on it, really cool motor. And so that was the beginning of the creation of the Hales clothing side.
Me and Colin probably always kind of knew, not known, but knew that this was kind of go where it was going to go. And it just wasn't forced at all. We just let the let the cards fold, play how they played. And this is where we're at right now and still enjoying the hell out of it.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try it. Like I initially didn't get introduced to the Hales till about 6 months ago, and I've definitely made my presence felt since then. But yeah, it's a great flannel. It's the top flannel I believe that I've worn. And the fabric's light. You can wear it when it's hot out. But yeah, I mean
and it doesn't wrinkle.
I missed out on quite a few drops.
It doesn't wrinkle, man. You can't wrinkle.
No.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Yep. Colin did the effort. He gets all the credit for the effort on our designs, our fabric, where we started with flannels. If you have any of our original flannels from where they began to where they are now, that is his heart and soul. And Nathan and I were just there to support him along the way and his creative vision. Nathan gets to be creative with all the hot rods in that part of the world. Colin gets to be creative in the clothing part of the world. And then I just help them both in between all the time.
Cool.
And Nathan, you hit a little bit on this, but when did you finally realize this is going to be big?
I don't know. I think I always knew it somehow. Just when it was going to arrive on the timeline, that was not up to me, So I just got up and worked my ass off every day, and that's just kind of how I did it. I didn't seek no attention, no fame, none of that stuff. I just got up and worked, and it was just going to happen. It didn't really matter to me because I was having a good time every day doing it.
Yeah,
and that's our goal. Is to have fun every day.
Yeah, that's definitely the most important.
Get ready for the hangout.
Yeah, and definitely a true testament of hard work paying off for sure.
Yes. I worked 7 days a week for 10 years.
Yeah.
No days off.
Yeah.
So when I first tried to root this brand in, it was nonstop. I didn't ever stop working.
Nice. It all helps when you enjoy it. When you enjoy what you're doing.
It wasn't work. Correct. It was not work to me. Correct.
Very few people in this world get to enjoy, get to do what they love. So that's quite the blessing.
No, I don't think it's a brand. I'm very grateful for it.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you could see it in the product too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Colin jump on so he can talk about our products just a little bit more.
Go right ahead.
Get
out of here, Colin. Rotate. Yeah. Musical chairs.
I also wanted to say these two have known each other since about kindergarten.
Yep.
Really?
Wow.
We literally grew up across the street from each other.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, that's cool, man.
That is cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Colin, spill the beans, bud.
Yeah, what do you want to know?
You tell us everything we need to know about the early challenges, the first production designs, whatever you want to share.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, so, whenever we got started with this, kind of like Jenna was saying, I was working, sort of that corporate job, really and truly made great money. Didn't mind doing what I was doing, but it just wasn't my passion. And that's where Nathan and I kind of late one night after I'd drawn up some hot rod T-shirts for the shop. And we had some people at some car shows ask about them. We sat there in his backyard having a whiskey one night. I was just simply telling him, man, I don't think I can do this anymore. Just my job is just not what I want to do. It's not creative. I'm not passionate about it whatsoever. And, he's always been the type that he was like, well, just quit, don't have that backup plan. Take the backup plan out, quit and let's get going. And so that's
human nature will always go to the backup plan. I mean, it's how we wired path of least resistance, So if there's not a backup plan, then you got to go. So that's just kind of how I've always looked at it.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's harder for some people to make that jump than it is for others, though. There's some people where that jump's very easy, and there's other people they like the security of having something to fall back on.
The
And that's
I
I mean, I
Oh,
can
man.
kind of identify with why he was hesitant, you know.
No,
Yeah.
I was all for him. Just never
It's-
pushing. It was all his choice. And I
It's
was
a
just
ballsy decision. It is ballsy to have this job and you know to you know, at the time I was married, you know, I had a newborn, you know, son, and to go,
Oh,
man,
wow.
well, holy moly, you know. And so we started doing the t-shirt thing, and you know, it didn't pan out as we wanted it to. You know, the next step was to create a website. I had no clue about how to make a website. So I pretty much spent, I don't, 2 months or something like that every day, you know, building a website, not knowing anything.
we knew
about
nothing.
it.
Like we knew nothing going into this clothing world. I mean,
Yeah.
we learned on the fly every single day.
Yeah.
Like we had, it'll make a good documentary in itself. You could tell really the whole story of what this took and the mental wars that it took to keep pushing through to get where we're going or where we're at today.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we just, you know, honestly, it, you know, we got the website up and rolling, and, you know, we were selling some stuff nationwide, t-shirts and stuff. And Nathan and I had always talked about, you know, the idea of doing some flannels based on some of the builds that he had done in the past, some builds that he was going to do in the future, you know, basing the colorways off of, you know, patinaed hot rods. You know, some of the builds had names, some of them didn't.
That was the root of the flannel.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it started, and
Yeah.
we expanded to all kinds of different themes. But
Yeah.
it really all started with the hot rod. Like each flannel with a theme of hot rod.
And that's where the first flannel that we did that was hot rod theme was that OG flannel. And there was so basically there was a company down in Houston, and you know, I called down there one day, and luckily somehow was able to talk my way to getting on the phone with the owner of the company. And, you know, I told him, you know, I got an idea. I want to do these flannels. I want to design my own patterns, colorways. He was third generation of doing this, you know, doing the flannel thing. But he just sells, you know, some cotton flannels, you know, that he kind of wholesales them and stuff like that. But regardless, you know, he was the type that was, you know, put your money where your mouth is. Before we get into doing business together, you know, I have some flannel shirts, you know, take them. You can, you know, retag them and stuff. So I started doing that, you know, and I was honestly doing some flannels. I mean, I sat at my mom's dining room table until, you know, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, trimming and fixing, repairing anything that was wrong.
It's only sewing
with
machine
them.
we got access to. So
Yeah,
that's why.
Well, and at the time, I didn't even know how to sew. I literally called my mom. I knew how to sew a button on.
Yeah.
I literally called my mom and was like, you know, hey, I want to, you know, sew some flannels and tags. And she was like, what in the hell? And, you know, I need you to teach me. And she was like, well, you know, yeah, come on over. And she taught me how to do it. And then, yeah, so it all took off. You know, we did some good business that developed into the OG flannel, which was our first hot rod. That was our first custom flannel that we did.
Just wasn't any good.
Yeah. And that's sort of, you know, that OG flannel, it wasn't the end all be all. We knew it wasn't the end all be all. And
it could have been good. It just was a lot of little miscommunications.
Yeah, and that's where, you know, it's sort of the ideas that I had. The owner of that business at the time, you know, it was kind of stuck in his ways in the sense of, you know, let me, you know, we don't need to change the recipe. You know, we'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And I was like, no, your recipe sucks. I want to change it all. So after
in our perspective,
it
was not where we wanted to go. The shirt's okay. It's just for the quality this dude wants to produce. I mean, he's got to do his own thing, you know.
That's where, you know, I started dealing with them on trying to, you know, make custom fabric and patterns and stuff. And it just wasn't working out. We just had two different visions. So basically at that point, we ceased production on flannels. And I remember telling Nathan, I said, look, we're not going to drop another flannel until it's a product that I'm proud to stand behind. You know, and at that point, I'm like, I don't even know the first thing about, you know, how to manufacture these, where do we go? And so literally, I spent a day at the shop looking up numbers to manufacturers overseas, writing numbers down, names down, contact info down. And, I stayed up that night calling China. And I didn't even know what I was doing. I mean, I literally, the first one that I called, they didn't speak English at all. And I was like, this doesn't work. And, I called the next one and the next one that I called, they spoke English, but, I told them, hey, we want to make our own flannels, our own material and pattern. You'd be surprised how many manufacturers over in China say, yeah, we can make your own pattern. Just pick something out of a book that we have that's already pre-made. And you're like, what? No, I want to make my own pattern.
Yeah.
Like, you can change the colors within the pattern we've already done. And I was like, no, I want to make my own patterns, and then, you talk to another manufacturer, go, oh, we can make your own pattern. If you find a plaid shirt, there in the US that you like, just send it to us. We'll duplicate the pattern. And once again, it's like, no, that's not what I'm wanting.
Yeah.
And luckily, I finally got a hold of a gentleman that spoke really good English. He was the owner of the factory over there. I tossed him my idea of what I was wanting to do with, my measurements, my size, my patterns, my material, all of that stuff. And he said, yeah, we can do that for you. The next trouble was, me sitting there going, okay, well, what do you need from me to do this? And he was like, oh, I don't know. I thought you had it all figured out, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I started developing patterns and it just sort of developed into what it is now, what you see,
Cool. So did those early OG flannels, were they the same material as like what you guys use now or totally different?
No, they started at an 80-20 mixture. It was a cotton poly mix, 80-20, 80 cotton, 20 poly. I started complaining to him, that I wanted no cotton in them whatsoever. He finally said, okay, well, we'll meet in the middle and we'll make them a 70-30 mixture. And I'm like, what? That's not meeting in the middle at all. So we got them down to 70-30, which, still just wasn't what we wanted. I started playing with some other poly mixtures without cotton. And that's another thing, a lot of people call these shirts flannels.
Yeah.
I learned early on in this industry, whenever I was trying to develop fabrics, I kept on referring to the fabric as flannel. And they kept on sending me samples, hand looms that were super fuzzy. And and I was going, no, I want a flannel, but I don't want fuzz. I don't want it to peel whenever you wash and dry it.
Right.
Yeah.
They would send me another hand loom that once again was fuzzy. And finally, I was educated by some individual along the way that have been doing it for a really long time, with material and stuff like that. And they said, flannel as a material is fuzzy.
Yes.
They said, what you're wanting is a woven. They said, you don't want a flannel. You want a woven. You want a plaid woven shirt and a specific weight. That's what you're looking for if you don't want the fuzz. Every time you refer to it as flannel, we're going to make you something that's fuzzy because that's what flannel is.
And I think about material.
Yeah, and it was like, holy moly. I know, again, I had no clue,
I had no clue until right now. Now I know.
I had that conversation with someone a while back.
Yeah. It was always a gray area, plaid and flannel. Like, what is it,
Yeah.
There is one funny little snippet I'll tell you. So when we actually truly started this, we had my documentary filming. So in that moment, we were movie stars. This is kind of funny. So we had all this hype around us 7-8 years ago. Is that how long ago that was now?
2018.
Okay. Anyway, we were filming every day and, had this cool crew that had cool cameras and we're doing all this stuff. And we're like, well, we got to have merch. We got to have stuff to sell with the documentary. And that's kind of that was the hype where it started. And our egos took over, not in a bad way, like being, not, kind people, but we just thought we were going to hit this sucker big right off the bat. And man, we got a reality check that took us for 5 years. I mean, you want to talk about an ego check. I mean, he didn't let us have it, but we earned it. It didn't happen just to get some filming. It took a lot of work to just endure, you know, the process to get where it was stable enough that it could support us, you know. So that was a funny little, you know, thing we went through, and we let you know, our ego get in the way, just plain and simple. I mean, it's that simple, you know, and that if you do that, in my opinion, it will not be a lasting, you know, adventure. If you have an ego involved in it, you're not in it for reasons. So we got a big reality check for years until this thing, and we didn't stop. I said, we will live under a fucking bridge before we stop. I mean, I told him that. So like, we will not quit. And we didn't. And
we had a lot of ramen noodles.
It's
we had to eat. We did. I mean,
well, it's been working out so far. So that's
it's finally becoming enjoyable for them. For me, it was always. I mean, I felt their stress. But this is almost two separate entities, you know, that's been combined. Like I've had the hot rod shop for 20 years before this ever started. So I was already just doing whatever I was doing, you know, as an artist, and just I work solo. I work by myself, so a couple of builds a year will pay my, you know, bills and what I need to function throughout the year. So this was just a whole new adventure that finally I'm seeing some, you know, relief on them with the success that is coming with it now.
Awesome.
Cool.
It did not come easy, man. I can tell y'all that. I can see why this is not done by a lot, because you have to endure a lot of stress to get it working.
You know, it's a cool childhood friends. You know, you start all the hard work, and you're able to see it's coming into fruition like that. And still, I mean, I can only imagine what it would have been like to have my best friend growing up be my business partner.
No, we have a lot of loyalty involved, so that puts the mind at peace right off the bat. It's not about the money between our little tripod here. It's we have a way bigger vision that we will lead to.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, Ant, what do we got for questions for you, sir?
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show, guys. Recently, I was in. I had heard that some of your flannels go to Harley Davidson dealerships, like a retailer. So I was in a Harley recently, and looking at the flannels in there, and I asked the lady who owns the shop. I said, "You guys got Hales?" And she's like, "No, I never heard of Hales." I'm like, "You got to get Hales in here." You know, so my question is, and I know you guys have retailers, Clutch and Throttle, if it sells out with you guys, Funky Brims. Are you in like local Harley shops, or like what Harley shops are you in, and what's the deal with that partnership there?
So if you go to our website, on the homepage at the footer, there is a little white tab that says what is it? Retail store locator. If you click on store locator, that's going to list all of our wholesale accounts that want to be on there. We do have one or two accounts
that don't like to be called.
Yeah, they don't want to be called. They want to carry our flannels for their local customer base, and they don't want to advertise for anybody to come by them. That's their choosing. You know, we ask them, if you want to be put on there, we will. But we have, I don't know, 40 or 40, so,
give or take,
wholesale accounts now.
Go after them.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's one thing, like Nathan was just saying, we've never gone after a single wholesale account. You know, I have people all the time that'll contact me or contact Jenna and say, you know, hey, I'm in the Washington area, or I'm you know, Pennsylvania, I'm wherever, and they go, you know, you guys need to reach out to the Harley dealer up here. We've never reached out to a single one of them. If they want our product, they call us, and we start every wholesale account with a phone call. We just want to make for sure that it's a good fit. We also have a radius. So whenever you do get a wholesale account with this, there's a specific radius that nobody within that radius can now open a wholesale account with this. So that secures if you carry our product, you know, you're going to be able to be successful in that radius.
And then a new rule we've had to put in place lately is the wholesale accounts can only order a certain amount of shirts. Because we do want to stay true to our word that we have said since the beginning. We will always be limited edition.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a quick question based on Ant's question real quick? You said you want the people to reach out to you to sell your products. How do you get them to find out about your product to reach out to you?
Most of them. So these Harley Davidson dealerships, I mean, number one, there's a lot of word of mouth.
Sure.
You know, somebody that buys our flannel that goes into the Harley dealer.
Like I did.
The motor clothes manager goes, "Oh my God, it's a gorgeous flannel. Who is it? Where is it?" You know, some of these Harley dealers, you know, they're already wearing our stuff, and it takes, you know, one of the service writers to go, "Man, we really ought to get Hales in here. I've been wearing their stuff for years now," you know. But another thing that we've recently discovered with a lot of the Harley dealers is they have summits. And it's a lot of the dealers that get together. They fly to, say, Colorado, and they have daily meetings. They get to talk about what's working in the motor clothes department, what's not, what brands are hot, what people are talking about. You know, they have the service department, parts department. Everybody's got something, right?
And they start calling after those summits.
we can almost tell you when a summit happens, because all of a sudden it's like the next week, you know, our phone starts blowing up from these other dealers that are going, "Oh, I was recently at a summit, and you know, these two dealers that were there were saying, you know, they're very successful with your stuff. You know, what do we need to do to get on board?" You know.
Do you try to get like your shirts down at places like Sturgis and stuff like that to sell them, or?
You know, if Sturgis wants to reach out to us, they are more than welcome. They are more than welcome to call us. We have discussed putting a hold on our wholesale accounts at this point and starting a waiting list. And honestly, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of people don't think, you know, they see our competitors, right? They look at these competitors, fairly big companies. Couple of them are really big. One of them in particular, I won't name names. One of them is extremely big. You know, and they compare us to these competitors, and it's very humbling whenever they do this. I'm always humbled by whenever they compare us to them. But you got to remember, at the end of the day, Nathan is building hot rods on one side of the shop, and it's just Jenna and I sitting there running the entire clothing business. We got some friends that definitely come and help us out whenever we need them to. If they're not too busy, they come to, you know, help do stuff around the shop. But day to day, it's usually just Jenna and I, and we do everything from, you know, receiving, shipping to wholesale accounts.
Yeah, like my son's taking the trash out. He's tearing down boxes. It's literally a family affair. Both my boys, they get hired. When we get a big shipment in, they get hired that week. We homeschool them, so we have that flexibility, and they're the ones unloading the boxes and sorting by size, because it's amazing. China makes a beautiful flannel, but they don't sort by size whatsoever.
The boxes show up and they're just in disarray, you know. So,
crazy.
But I mean, we do everything from even, you know, what you see on the website, building the products. I mean, still to this day, you can go to our website. We're the models most of the time.
So is the goal to keep it just small between you guys like it is now, or are you looking to grow so you can be like a company like some of the bigger companies that you're being compared to?
Just see how it plays out.
I mean, I can tell you that I don't think we ever wanted to get.
I mean, what if you in a perfect world, what would you want it to be?
We want it to remain fun. I guess that's the easy answer there, because I think somewhere along the way we're going to get to a point where we go, okay, you know, this is the limit right here to where we can still show up, smile, design flannels, enjoy what we do, keep a smile on our face. That's why we all started this in the first place. We live very humbly. We don't take, you know, lavish vacations on a monthly basis or anything like that. So
we enjoy our work.
If we can keep a roof over our head, you know, smile, enjoy what we do, you know, we'll keep growing until that right there starts to evade. Once that starts to evade, you got to cut the cord, and we got to go, okay, this is where we're at. figure it out from there. But we don't ever want to get to the point where we wake up one morning and we go, oh my God, this is miserable. I don't want to go to work today.
Well, the advantage is if you got it big enough and you woke up and you felt like that, you could sell it and then you live comfortably off of what you made off the
That's what a lot of
company.
people don't understand about this is, Nathan and Jenna, they have kids. I have my son. That was always one of the things with this business. Whenever we started it, we don't want to sell the company ever.
I just spent the flannel parts, and then you can concentrate on the hot rods.
Not an option.
That's where, my son is 7 years old. And right now, if you ask him what he wants to do, he says, Dad, I want to design flannels like you. So,
Man,
in
that's
that
awesome,
scenario, we're hoping that our kids, God willing, that they want to, that they want to do it,
Dude, what a story
That's
going from
fun,
box boy to flannels, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
We want, we are growing right now, as so many people have noticed online. Our growth in customer base has, I don't even know the percentage now of what it was to a year ago today. And then you think about 5 years ago today, what it was like. And, I had a guy come in this shop today and he's like, Jenna, just keep that smile on your face. It's going to be okay. And we're upping production, which means a ton more capital getting put into these shirts. And then all of a sudden people are going to be mad at us because we have too many shirts. I'm waiting for the day for it to happen.
Yeah.
They're mad at us right now because we're not making enough. Then they're going to be mad at us because we're making too many. And so finding that middle ground is.
And the production time is also just a big challenge. A lot of people think, I guess I've seen that too many times, right? Where somebody goes, well, why don't you guys make more? Well, you have to understand this shirt right here that's going to be dropping soon. If right now today I said, Jenna, we need to make more of these shirts. And I called over to the manufacturer and said, I need to make more. It's not like we're going to have those in a week or two. That is a minimum 5-month process to make the material, to inspect the material, to cut and sew the shirts, to inspect the pre-production samples, and still today, to keep our quality where it is, we hire a third-party inspection company that goes in and inspects a percentage of the shirts and gives us 100+ page report on each theme that we do that has pictures and measurements and everything. And it's a percentage. And from that percentage, it gets a passing grade or a failing grade, God forbid our manufacturer at this point knows that we inspect every single shirt, so that it better be a good quality to pass, because if it fails, the only option at that point is we're not shipping them. You're going to fix the issue. If they're royally screwed up, you're going to start over, but we're not going to ship until the inspectors come back out again and give us a passing score. But even once they ship, it's in the water for a month.
And that's happened.
Yep.
And
we have absolutely failed flannels, and not our wholesale accounts know that we always have a timeline we give them, that we hope this flannel drops this month and this month and this month. And it changes based on if the shirts were good enough to ship.
Yeah.
And to this day, we hold everybody accountable. There's days where I'm like, Colin, please don't do the inspection report. I tell you how many times I've said that. I'm like, we need this flip. Come up. And he's like, Jenna. Okay,
Can you imagine?
That'll be the one that fails.
Can you imagine if other companies followed that guideline and the reputation that how the reputation would change? That is amazing. That's amazing. How long people inspect the flannels, and that's
just I think with some of the companies, that's an extra expenditure whenever it comes to producing these shirts. I see online a lot of people, they say, oh, they're just $2, mass produced, Chinese flannels. Well, if you can show me where you can get one of these shirts for $2, by all means. But I'm telling you,
we'll buy mansions.
Yeah, a lot of these manufacturers, they will advertise on Alibaba saying, hey, you can get this shirt for $2. Well, you call them, and that's the thing. It's advertisement. They'll put a shirt on there that looks excellent. They'll advertise that it's polyester and all that good stuff, right? By the time you get a hold of them, that $2 shirt was actually a 100% cotton shirt. Oh, you want polyester? Well, the price goes up. Oh, you want a custom woven label on the inside? Well, that's extra money. You want the pocket tags extra. You want sunglass holder. They charge for every single thing done to the shirt. Yeah, it's all.
I'm surprised to hear that polyester costs more than cotton.
Yeah, and by the time it's all said and done, you're sitting there going, holy moly, $2 my ass, you know? And on top of that, I can tell you another thing. Shipping is absolutely astronomical. A quick story, but on the OG flannel, whenever I produced that flannel, you know, I knew nothing. So we create this flannel. We go into production on this flannel. We get all this stuff. And I'm sitting there going, oh, man, you know, we're made in the shade. It's paid for whenever it gets here. We're going to sell it. It's going to do good. Well, all of a sudden, the factory calls me and they go, hey, flannels are done. You got to pay shipping now. And I was like, yeah, no problem. I can pay shipping. You know, what is it? A couple $100 or something? I mean, it was in the thousands. And I'm sitting there going, holy shit. I don't have that money. What the hell? I was not expecting that.
And then when we were trying to stay relevant in 2020, 2023, when I quit my teaching job and came on to help Colin and Nathan, we were having to fly them on a plane because we couldn't stay ahead of the game enough to wait 30 to 60 days on a boat. So we were paying double to triple.
Yeah, double to triple to put them on a plane to get them here quicker.
So we could stay relative because as soon as we didn't have one a month, we were not relative anymore 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And now we're doing 2 to 3 a month. Once in a while, we'll throw 4 if we have a shaka or a cruiser or something fun. But now we're at a point where we can put them on a boat. That was one of the biggest moments Colin and I had. We were like, we're ahead. We don't have to spend 3 times the amount on shipping for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And we were finally able to get a little bit ahead. So this week, what arrived was everything for the end of April. We don't have May's shirts yet. They're not here. And then you throw Funky Brims in it. You know, we absolutely love doing all the collabs with Funky Brims, but we're all constantly on the phone. Chris is on the phone with his manufacturer in Italy. Colin's on the phone with China. Can we time all of this correctly so it all comes together for the customer at the same time? So everything you're wearing, guys, it all worked out. Well, this week with the Calypso, Chris's hats are stuck in customs. We've already announced that the Calypso is coming out Friday at 5:00 CST. So Chris is going to have to do a pre-sale. He's so flexible and amazing to make that work. But we've also had to wait on flannels. So he already has the caps for the next 2 releases for whatever reason, but we don't have those shirts yet.
Yeah.
So it's this juggle all the time.
Yeah.
I got
really appreciate you sharing that stuff.
I think it says a lot about you guys, and a good problem to have, though, that people do get worked up about not getting their flannels. So y'all are killing it out there, man. So.
Woo, do they get worked up?
Yeah.
And that's I've tried to explain it to some of the people that have been at the shop. You know, we have increased our numbers. You know, like Jenna said, we're always going to remain limited. That's why recently we had to limit some of our wholesale accounts that were getting, a little antsy whenever it came to ordering some of the shirts. And we personally just felt that might even start to kind of screw up that limited edition filling. So we restricted some of their numbers because we're always going to stay true to that. But even up in the orders recently, you have to think we saw a significant growth in November. But as any business owner could tell you, you don't see a significant growth in November and then just go off the deep end and start ordering more shirts. You see if that's going to be a sustainable growth.
Is it really stick? Just because the Rosie the Riveter did really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Imperial's next. It's green. Are people going to like green?
Yeah.
Boom. They liked it. Oh, okay.
People love green.
I got the Imperial on right now.
You gotta wait and see if it's sustained. So finally, about end of December, January, whenever we finally went, okay, the growth that we've seen is sustainable. It's staying there. It wasn't just overnight. It wasn't because we had a popular colorway or two. Yeah, there you go, the Imperial.
That's nice.
So finally in January, that's whenever we upped our orders. But once again, we're back to that. We upped them in January. Well, you're 6 months out. 5 to 6 months out. So you don't even get to see that additional growth until, June, July. Well, that's the thing. We don't have a magic crystal ball. So in June, July, are we going to have another growth? And now we don't have enough again?
And Nathan says yes. He's putting it out there in the universe. He says we're going to grow again this summer.
I'm going to take.
It kind of hurts my head just to think about it.
Yeah, I'm going to take 3 questions to the audience. There are 2 of them are going to be really quick answers. First, Colin, they're going to go to you here. I got a question. Is that the Shorty Work shirt you're wearing?
Yes, it is. We will be dropping a blue collar series. If you like our blue collar long sleeve shirts that are heavy duty, they're thick, solid color shirts with buttons, different pocket shapes, square bottom hem. We are literally making blue collar short sleeves that we cut sleeves off, and the weight of the shirt is just like our cruisers, about like a t-shirt.
Cool.
My next one is for Jenna because seems to be a hot topic in the chat. When is that flannel dropping?
It'll drop in April.
April.
I like it. It looks like a fire.
It will drop this month in April. We got the last handful of boxes today. So that's why I decided to wear it. I posted that little question last night in the group saying, hey, do y'all want me to wear a sneak peek? So this is your sneak peek, and we're super excited. You're going to love the theme. It's super fun. It's crazy bright yellow, orange, red, and black.
It's supposed to look like fire.
It's supposed to look like
That's
fire.
what I was just saying. It looks like a fire. I really want that one when it gets released.
I actually designed that flannel, I don't know, 2 years ago or so at this point. It's funny, whenever I started designing the flannels, I always challenged myself to get more creative with the patterns, more detailed. In some circumstances, sometimes you want a simpler pattern. But going through the motions of trying to continue to get better, I got carried away, and I think I've designed, I don't know, at this point, maybe 700 flannels, we actually, a lot of this stuff, was designed years ago.
Yep.
I like that one.
All of 2027's lineup, it's already designed, done.
But once in a while, he comes up with a new design that I cancel something. This happens more often than not.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, be like, Jenna, can you look at this? And I'm like, yeah. Now we're nixing that one, and we're moving this one all the way up. Actually happened last week.
Yeah. Actually, 2 of them come.
Yes.
It'll be coming later this year. It was actually we got all of our 2027 hand looms from everything that we designed, and honestly, multiple in there, but 2 of them we were like, okay, these have to
everybody
move
needs
up.
this one this year.
Now these 2 are going to get moved down. So, but yeah.
Size wise, are your shirts pretty true to size, or they run large, or it's a little small, or?
I mean, I say true to size. Some guys say a large. I'm 6'1", about 215 or so. I wear a large tall. I got a long torso. Nathan, who's 6'2", he just wears a regular large. His length is in his legs.
Well, let me ask you this: have you ever tried on a Dixon shirt? Most people have tried on Dixon. Are you guys pretty similar to them size wise?
I had one of his shirts years and years and years ago. It was before the craze or anything like that. It was a blue one, and that was the I guess now that I know a little more about this, that was the pre-pleat era, and I ordered a large in that one, and I thought it fit tight, but from what I've learned from customers at this point, those back then fit a little smaller.
Well, I can actually answer
I'm 6 foot, 185 pounds, and so I don't have it. I'd like to order one of your shirts in the future, so I was just curious.
Yeah,
I
I
can
think
answer
it
that
would be
because-
good in the same size. And,
Yeah.
and if not, all you got to do is email me,
Yeah.
and I will always try to exchange it if I can. A lot of times I can take care of the guys that aren't sure on their sizes right at the beginning. Especially if I see that you've only ordered once or twice, I will do everything in my power, call wholesale accounts and everything I can to get you the flannel that fits. You can ask the customers. I've been known to do that on a regular basis. It's just kind of one of my things I do from being
Chad,
kindergarten.
what I found about between them and Dixon is that I feel they're the same length. It feels the same length in the side, but it is baggier. So like for me, I'm almost 6'4", I'm 230 pounds. I was ordering 3XL of Hales, and now I'm getting 2XLs. So it's it is definitely a little more like this one here is 2XL on me.
Yep.
And
That looks like it fits you great in the shoulders too.
Right.
That's what I always look at is those shoulders.
With you being, you said you were 6'4"?
Yeah, almost 6'4". Yep.
Do you get the talls?
No, I don't get it. Well, I got longer legs as well.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it fits, like, as far as like the length and everything is exact same, but it's got that baggier. To me, it's just so much more comfortable.
How is it on your neck?
The neck, I never button the top button. I never snap the top button or whatever it might be. But I just, as far as comfort wise, it's by far superior than what a Dixon is. And like I said, I was kind of upset that I only joined this 6 months ago, and how much money I could have saved by going to another company rather than just, it's to be more comfortable. I probably recommend the Hales. This is just my opinion. Hales over Dixon.
I definitely want to pick up that shirt she's wearing when they release it.
Oh, hells yeah.
Yeah, these don't wrinkle. Main thing is these don't wrinkle. That's the difference between the two companies for me.
Yeah.
And I hate wrinkles. So, also, Jenna, the shirt you're wearing, is that going to be a Funky Brims collab too?
Absolutely. Everything in 2026 will be a Funky
Oh,
Brims
so
collab.
there's some hats coming out with that too, then, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, so Chris is not skipping any
Anything this
of
year.
our flannels. And like Jenna just said, he is going to have some blue collar, solid color summer caps with the lighter weight material, and then even some heavier weight winter material that I think is going to be a restocking line for him, just like our blue collars are. But he is not skipping anything. He is collaborating on everything with us. So you will always have some hats to choose from with Funky Brims on our stuff.
Well, I'm really interested to see what hats come out with that shirt.
So I can't wait to see the hat.
Yeah.
The hat with that shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
He's going to stay exclusive to us. He's already had other flannel brands reaching out to him because obviously people are seeing what we're doing and wanting to try to do the same, which is fine. It's a definitely a compliment, but Chris is staying loyal to us. So sorry, guys. Anybody else?
Nice.
Yeah.
All right,
Hey,
Doug, your turn to ask some questions.
Go ahead and save me and Anox a flat cap in that color too.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
We got some really cool colors of the solids coming. We're Colin and I are really excited. It was actually hard to narrow down because once again,
Boy, that color matched with the black would be really cool.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah, we've developed some new colors, and we're hoping that our blue collar line for the short sleeves and the long sleeves, we just keep to roll forward with. Whenever we start dwindling down on stock, we'll reorder them, and then hopefully each year we get to develop a couple new colors for everybody as well.
And before we go to Dubs, you guys were talking about how you're models. Just on the Funky Brims Live is when I realized that Sean and Colin are two different people, because all I saw was the hat and the beard. And also you're talking about height. You're talking about height. How tall is Sean then?
How tall is Sean?
6'4", 6'4" and a half. He's taller than you, baby.
Yeah, 6'4", so yeah.
Big old guy.
Yeah.
And he is actually super proud of Mr. Sean. He is an XL tall in us now. He started in a 2X tall.
No. Whenever he first started buying with this, and Sean will tell you this, he was wearing a 4X.
Yep.
And he has been diligently losing weight, dieting, and all that stuff to where he is proudly now in an XL tall.
Looks good.
Awesome.
He looks so good. Yeah. We were so excited, and we call him our supermodel because when he gets behind the camera, he's just got the best smile, and we love when he's willing to come out.
I tell you, I bought some stuff because of Sean rocking it. I got to say that.
I'm glad.
Supermodel or security. Either
or he could be my security guard.
He could be supermodel or security.
He calls me his little sister nowadays.
But hey, as big and burly as he is, he can get mad. But for the most part, he's a big, lovable, squishy teddy bear.
Got a good heart.
Good heart, good-hearted
and his
guy.
wife is amazing. She's become quickly one of my best friends, and Laura is just a sweetheart.
Yes.
Very cool. Go ahead, Doug.
All right, so I had two questions. The first one is before the Funky Brims and Hales collab, were any of you guys into the flats and the Newsboys, or did Funky Brims kind of bring you into that world?
Sean had quite a few of them. I had a couple myself. They weren't Funky Brims. They were from another company.
Yeah.
But Sean, he had a bunch of hats from different companies, and I don't wear hats a whole lot, even baseball caps. I don't wear a whole lot. Sean, he wears a hat, I think, all the time.
24/7.
Yeah, and most of the time it is, the flat caps of the newsboys. But it's an interesting story. Have you guys ever heard the story how the whole collaboration got hooked up between us and Funky Brims?
Well, I think that was Chad's question.
Yeah.
I told you.
That's all right. Chad asked a few questions already, so
Yeah, you can go into it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sean.
you go
Yeah.
into
So,
it. Yeah.
do you guys, Dwayne? He's been in the groups and all that stuff. He's been to our shop a number of times.
Yes, I got to meet him finally.
Yeah, he was at the Funky Brims, the grand opening and everything in their new retail store. But Dwayne, his wife's, his in-laws or something.
Yes, his
they
in-laws
live
are
in
North
Fort.
Texas.
Yeah, they live in the Fort Worth, North Texas area, which isn't too far from us. So he had stopped by the shop and he was wearing a flat cap, and I sort of just started talking to him about the flat caps, the quality, all that good stuff. And, I told him a lot of guys that like to match the baseball caps with the flannels.
Mm-hmm.
I'm constantly seeing these groups where somebody is posting up a flannel saying, they're asking a question, does anybody know where I can get a cap that matches this, or vice versa? I got a new cap.
Yeah.
What flannel matches this? I said, I've had an idea to incorporate the material from the flannels. I can even provide solid coated Pantones from what's in the pattern to use for solid colors and whatnot. And luckily, Dwayne said, you know what? I'm leaving here and I'm going up to the Irish Fest in Oklahoma. And I'm going to be hanging out with Chris Lopp and Funky Brims at his booth. I'll mention it to him. I said, yeah, why don't you mention it to him, see what he thinks? At this point, I was like, I don't know if this is a good idea, a bad idea. I don't know if people would dig it, if they wouldn't dig it. This is just sort of an idea, right? That very next week, Chris called me and he goes, Dwayne told me, and I'm in, 100% in. Let's do it.
Let's go.
And
so
that
that's
was
the
all.
butcher,
That was
the one you're wearing.
the butcher. Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
okay, here
Nice
goes Nate.
job.
Some people
No,
call
come
it
here,
luck.
come here. Nathan has something to say.
Okay.
When I heard Colin say it was just luck. I mean, my personal belief, some people call it luck. I truly know that's alignment when those paths cross.
Yeah, 100%.
When it's not no effort involved, and that's just how it plays out. That's manifestation of alignment taking place.
Yeah.
And that's why we have no plan. We have no business plan. We are truly just how it evolves is the way it evolves. We don't have a plan from day to day, really. We just let this thing play out, and that's just always been a big inner belief of mine. It's you're born with a destiny, and just let it enjoy the ride. Just enjoy the ride, and it will present itself.
And that goes back to the testament of word of mouth. Word of
Yeah.
mouth. I mean, if that doesn't happen with Dwayne, word of mouth, that's pure word of mouth getting over to Chris. So that's awesome.
Yep. And word of mouth is why we have 42 wholesale accounts.
Yeah.
Yep.
It really is. It just continues by just staying focused, doing what we do, heads down, go to work. The last 3 weeks, we've been working 7 days a week. After our hangout, maybe we work 4 days a week and we take a little breather, and that's okay. And we just keep our heads down and keep rolling forward.
It's not work though.
It's not.
It's not
It's
work.
fun. We have a lot of fun every day.
We go to lunch.
My next question was for Nathan, actually.
Okay, here. He's coming back. Hang on just a second.
Dubs had this question going. He's like, I hope Nathan is going to be talking.
So I was doing a little reading, man, and it said that they call you the mad scientist. Is that right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
That's his nickname we gave him.
And maybe just because I go with everything with no plan. Like,
Gotcha.
I tell people I'm the middleman, man. It comes through me and I just go. Like, I don't have no plan when I wake up every day. Like,
See, I was going to ask where you got that at. We've had two mad scientists on this show. One was flat cap related, and now we got the flannel guy on here.
Yeah,
I thought that was really cool, man. So
That's
I thought
awesome,
you could drop some knowledge on us and let us know where you where you acquired that nickname from. So.
I think it definitely came from me and Colin.
Yeah, it's just the way I build hot rods.
Yeah.
They inspired that into the flannel. It's just like I said, when I don't go with renderings. I just literally just have a vision in my head. It's kind of already built in my mind. When and when I take a car in the hot rod shop, I turn down more stuff than I take if I don't like it, I'm not going to do it. It's just, if I don't have an inspiration to build it, I'm not going to do it, because then it turned into work.
Yeah.
So if I don't talk to somebody and the frequencies don't match or the vibe, then I move on. Like I'm building a luxury car for you. There should be no ego involved. If you have enough money to pay for what I'm going to charge you to do this, then it is what you don't need it. It'll be when it gets done. And my customers have to understand that. I wake up and I've, built my life stress-free, very strategically. I don't drive to work. I go an eighth of a mile and I'm at my shop. I don't sit in traffic but I did that on purpose. I had a plan, kind of a vision for what I wanted to do.
And fun note, Colin lives directly behind us, and we have a gate in between our properties.
Yeah, I just walked off my porch.
Yeah, awesome. Walked through the fence.
No, super efficient. We had a strategic vision when we did this to keep this super fun, super comfortable, like where we could, this is totally different than the way any other company run. We run our way, not the way the public thinks it needs to be run. We could care less about that.
Man, that's great.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's just absolutely amazing. Just to hear that and to hear the guy
you lose your authenticity and you're trying to please somebody else, you won't do nothing. Like until you're at peace, you ain't gonna help nobody out. So, we live a different way than most likely.
So is there a Mad Scientist flannel? Have you guys done that before?
We did.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
I can't remember what year it was, maybe 2 years ago, 2024, give or take.
It was probably too early.
It was not a very big hit back in the day. Maybe we need to do another one. It was
do a 2.0.
Yeah, do
it was cool.
It was really cool. We loved it.
I got the banner in my shop, so I like it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then we've also done a couple other ones. I just lost the name of it. What was the green truck one?
Lunatic.
The Lunatic is actually, if you go look at the Lunatic artwork, it's a skeleton version of Nathan with long hair. And so that one to me very much represents him. It was called the Lunatic. It was off of a Chevy pickup he built that now is in California. And it was super fun. And we'll have a few this year that are also based on the hot rods that he has built. And so any hot rod theme, we always try to relate it to something he has built or is building in the future. He's currently building a Cadillac. And so there's definitely going to be a Cadillac flannel in the future. And our almost 16-year-old son, he'll be 16 in 2 weeks.
We're building it.
They are building it together.
I don't work on it unless he's there.
Yes, they work on it together. So since we homeschool, that definitely counts as credits in my mom teacher book.
Nice.
And so there'll definitely be a flannel in the future on this 82 square box Chevy.
I love that y'all use a lot of the skull imagery in your flannels and stuff. I think that's really cool.
That's Colin. That's all Colin's mind. That's his brainchild. That's just kind of where it started. And bones don't deteriorate; they're forever. So there's skeletons everywhere. So we just.
And I know you guys said that you guys aren't going to do any. It's all pretty much limited production. But there is a question in the chat. Will you ever re-release anything?
That's not our plan. We'll re-release the Blue Collar series.
That was a plan.
That was a plan from the beginning because we wanted these just really awesome solid color shirts for the guys. Most of the time you'll see Nathan and Colin both in solid color black. And so we wanted something for the group of people that just wanted a plain, awesome shirt. A lot of guys work in them. A lot of guys use them as their dress shirts. Everything that we've done as far as having a pattern, we don't plan to re-release. We know other companies have once they hit their 10-year mark or 15-year mark.
I'm going to let Colin channel through me.
You're good.
Colin will do versions.
Yes. A 2.0.
He won't re-release. We probably never will
Yep.
re-release.
So last year we did in the very beginning we did a hard knock, and then last year at this time we did a hard knock 2.0.
Minor changes.
Minor changes, new colors, new artwork. So everything felt the same but different. In the fall, we'll have another 2.0 of something that's very near and dear to our hearts. Something that both Nathan's mom and Colin's mom and several of our friends have gone through. So we'll definitely honor that again. It's not something we want to beat up every year, but it's something that we want to represent from time to time, if that makes sense.
Cool.
And it's a totally pattern, totally new colors, but it will be the same name, version 2.
Well, if you guys ever run out of ideas, you could do a gentleman's roundtable flannel.
Hey, absolutely. We can talk about it.
We're always up for
We're
it,
always
man.
up for a phone call.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask you about a prior release you guys did? The live wire. I got a couple caps from that, but I wasn't able to get the flannel. The cap came with a CUDA pin. Did that have to do with a hot rod that you built? I wondered where the hat pin came from, why it had the CUDA pin.
We're gonna let Colin take care of that one. Hang on, hang tight.
So the whole Barracuda on that, it's actually funny. I always tell people we put way too much thought into these shirts, which is a good thing, but sometimes it keeps you up late nights, right? So whenever we designed the live wire, in my thought process of developing the art, I wanted the live wire to be that girl that you see her at the bar. She's very attractive. You really want to go over and talk to her. But she's also that girl that your dad warned you about and told you, stay away from. And so thinking of this beautiful girl at the bar, I started thinking, well, what would she drive? And so if you've ever seen the remake of Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage,
I've seen both the old and new one.
So whenever they're still in cars, there's a scene in that movie where Angelina Jolie, she finds a tube of lipstick in a car. And she tells, Nicolas Cage that it had to be a girl's car. And he said, how do you know it's a girl's car? And she said, because the lipstick matches the paint. And that was Barracuda. So I was like, the live wire's got to drive, she's got to have purple lipstick and drive a plum crazy purple Barracuda.
Dude, that's cool to hear the story.
He doesn't know the story.
That's first time for me.
That's cool.
Oh, I'm glad you shared that. You
World,
said-
it never knows what we have going on.
I love that scene.
I got both the flat caps from that,
Yeah.
so I got the pins, and I didn't know the story behind them, so I was always curious.
That's a great story.
I mean, you
and I'm
could
glad you
ask
said-
this
Yeah.
about every single shirt. There is a story behind every single shirt. There is a remake behind every single shirt. It is so fun, and I really hope we get to do our documentary 2.0 flannel version, because there's so many cool. You guys have, unleashed even memories tonight asking these questions over the last 5 years. You get so busy, you forget.
Yeah.
You guys are welcome to come on anytime in the future to do
real.
any releases and any drops. So
Absolutely.
That
You
was
let
a
me know.
great
You
story.
got my messenger. Send me a message. We'll come on once in a while.
Yeah, I'm just
I feel
glad
like
it
that's
was-
what the show's
it was
all
the girl
about.
you're- Yeah, I'm just glad it was the girl your father warned you about when you said about at the bar with beer, because I've been in a situation with beer goggles to where I thought
Next time we'll have to do a live wire 2.0 and put a Pinto in there or something. Here's the beer goggles
a
version.
gremlin, AMC gremlin.
What was the car that Wayne's World dudes drove? What was that? The dudes from Wayne's World.
Yeah, wasn't that a Pinto or a Gremlin or a Pinto? Yeah.
Yeah, it was one.
Wasn't it a Pacer?
Flames on it?
Or it might have been a Pacer. I don't know.
I think it was an AMC Pacer.
Yeah.
Okay, could have been.
Yeah, those things look like a fishbowl.
Yeah, we do have one called the Sophia coming out in 2026, and she is a hot rod that Nathan really built for Colin before the flannel shop started, and I think that's really cool. I think it will be a flannel that people either love or hate, because that's just how it goes, and it is absolutely based on the truck that Colin and Nathan built back in the day. I don't even know, probably 15 years ago, and it still lives in Vegas, and her name's Sophia.
Yep. And that flannel, whenever you guys see the final rendition that's actually going to come out, you have to understand I designed that flannel originally. That was probably the second or third flannel that I ever designed.
So you're talking about 2000, you know,
And-
5-6 years ago.
And I wasn't happy with it, and I redesigned it. I got a hand loom made. I still wasn't happy with it. I redesigned it. So the final rendition that I was finally happy with and proud, I thought was a good looking plaid. I thought represented the truck very well, just very nice and clean. You know, it's like the 10th rendition of that pattern that I did.
We'll take the photos in the next couple of weeks. It won't be with the truck. We don't have time to fly to Vegas and back.
Yeah.
But we'll take it with a truck that Nathan did build. So it's a similar build, but very different at the same time. So that's a pretty cool one.
The Mirth
Nice.
Wheel. Here you go.
Yeah.
All right. I got a couple questions in the chat, but I want to see if you guys have any other questions first.
That's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I heard something on Funky Brims when you were on there about an open shop event you're having.
Yeah. So
Can you tell us about that?
Saturday, April 25th. So 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks now. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it's here. It's like planning a wedding every year. I get very overwhelmed. So it's April 25th, 1 to 7. We'll have food trucks, 3 live bands. We'll have Funky Brims. We're going to have Jared North from Garden City Customs. If you guys have ever had any of his leather work or haven't had any made by him yet, he'll take flannel and create your best dream ever. A wallet, a purse, a notebook.
He's even made duffel bags,
Partial
backpacks.
no.
Made scally caps for guys.
And he has a bunch of
Cool.
our flannel material. So a lot of times you'll be able to call him and say, hey, I want a wallet that's made with Italian leather and hand stitched. And
Has the butcher.
I love the butcher. I love the imperial. And most of the times he'll go, say less, I got some here. I'll hook you up, you know.
Yep.
And Chris is
Yeah.
going to be at that event.
Yep.
With the booth set up. And he is going to have some hats that match certain flannels. They're
And
live at the event for sale.
And they're going to sell like hotcakes, man.
Yeah.
And we also
I hope I
have-
could get one on the drop.
Going to be
Yeah.
here too. We have a retired Marine that's going to be there with his knives that he's forged here straight from Texas.
No kidding.
Can't wait to
Cool.
meet him. We have One Tribe Foundation coming. We have another foundation that's close to us called Iron Horse Stables coming. We have High Carbon Mercantile coming. They are from Wyoming.
Yeah.
I just lost it for a second. Wyoming.
They're one of our wholesale
Wholesale
accounts,
accounts.
and
They're
they're
coming.
coming down to set up shop there.
Yep. And then Clutch and Throttle from California. Samuel and his wife are coming down too.
Yep.
So it's an
Wow.
open house. It's a
Yeah.
family friendly event that goes, you know, it's kind of a come and go thing. People will literally come and go all day long. Some people will stay all day long. And we have the Hot Rod Shop open, which is closed to the public on a daily basis. So a lot of people enjoy that piece of it.
You get to walk
see
through the
the mad
shop.
scientist
You get
world.
to see the
That's
cars
awesome.
in the middle of being built. Some of them that are finished, and it is a custom car, truck, and bike meet as well. So we don't discriminate whenever it comes to year, make, model. So it's anything as long as it's custom. It could be a Harley, it could be a crotch rocket, it could be, in the past, whenever we've had this event, you'll see a Model A sitting next to a Ferrari, so it can literally be anything. And the most important thing about the event is it's all for Toys for Tots charity, local, Denton County. Everybody that comes to the event, whether you're bringing a car, truck, bike, or whether you're spectating, we just simply ask, bring an unwrapped toy. Or make a small cash donation to Toys for Tots. We're also going to have a silent auction set up that has a ton of custom handmade items. From Jared is going to put a basket in there with his leather work. Chris is putting a basket in. Chris's wife Sarah from the Functified store is putting a basket in. Samuel's putting one in from Crutch and Throttle. I think High Carbon's putting one in. We've had a bunch of local makers that are putting pinstripe goods in and just all sorts of stuff. It's going to be a huge silent auction. And at the end of the silent auction, whenever everybody pays up and everybody takes their items, we literally turn to Toys for Tots. We don't
Write them a check.
pocket a penny. We
Nope.
write them a check for the entire amount that was raised.
That's cool.
Cool.
And really
Awesome.
is
And
where
real quick, for the ones that are watching-
for Toys for Tots for the last 4 years in Denton County because of what we do. So we're really excited to make this year 5.
All right. So I got a couple questions in the chat. Can you go ahead and explain to the people where exactly this is again? Because they missed out on some of that.
Yeah, we're in Louisville, Texas. So we're about 20 minutes north of Dallas, 10 minutes south of Denton. We're right off 35W. It's super easy.
Just a straight shot down from Minnesota.
Yeah, you exit 30. You're on 35 East, and you exit Fox, and we're about a half mile down the road.
So you're further
The
south
physical
than
address
Buc-ee's
is-
and Denton then.
The physical address, so if anybody wants to write it down, it's on our website as well, but it's 751 South Mill, that's M as in Mary, Mill Street in Louisville, which is Lewis, Louisville, Texas, 75057. And we have the whole lot, the retail stores there, the hot rod shop is next door. And like we said, we're shutting down the whole lot to where you're going to have hot rods in front of the retail store. We got a big back parking lot for the car show, a big front parking lot for the car show. The bands are going to be set up, food trucks, michelada, beer vendors, tacos,
Texas
barbecue, everything.
Nice.
So that's only a 4.5 hour drive for me.
Well, come
Yeah.
on. That's not far.
Yeah, that's not far at all.
That ain't bad.
We got a couple of guys every
Yeah.
year. They jump on their Harleys and ride from Omaha, Nebraska,
All the way down.
all the way down to us. They usually check in with us on what, Wednesday, Thursday?
Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday.
Then they leave,
They
go down,
they go to the coast.
go to the coast in Galveston. Then they come back up and make sure that they're there all day Saturday for the event. And then they turn around on Sunday and beeline it back up to Omaha,
There was a
Nebraska.
guy that rode his motorcycle from North Dakota last year.
That's crazy.
Anox just got a new bike, so he's game
Yeah,
for this,
yeah.
right?
That's about 36 hours away from me.
No better way to break it in.
Hey, we'll do it again next year.
About
so
to
you
take a
can
couple
take-
weeks off of work.
Yeah.
And if anybody is flying in for the event, there's already a ton of people that are flying in for the event. If anybody does want to fly in for the event and they need a hotel, there's a close La Quinta off of 35 in Louisville. And if you call them to book a hotel, they've actually blocked off some rooms for us. And how much are the rooms?
They're like $120. They knocked about $60 off a night for us.
Yeah.
It's a brand new hotel here in Louisville that's a mile and a half from the shop. So it's super easy if anybody has to Uber. It's been a great place. Big thanks to Philip Manning for basically calling them and getting all of that to happen, because Colin and I just didn't have the time. So
Yeah.
it's almost like a wedding. We called and we
Yeah, a lot of
blocked it
common
off.
ground there too, 'cause
Yeah.
there's a lot of same people
There's a
there.
lot of the same
Yeah.
people there. Everybody stays, so they're all eating breakfast together. Then they come to shop, and then we all go to we're going to go to Buffalo Hirsch. It's a local kind of like beer pub, food trucks and all of that. We'll have an after party.
Yeah.
I don't like to use the word party because it is a family
It's
event.
it's an after our event. We're going to gather there from our events 1 to 7.
After the hangout.
And then theirs is from 7 to 11. And they even, to coordinate everything with us, they put together a special menu where they're going to have, a special beer that you can order, a special drink you can order. Anything that's ordered off that menu from 7 to 11, they actually donate directly to Toys for Tots as well.
Oh, that sounds like a good time.
Very nice.
So,
Yeah.
so does that make you guys Cowboys
I was-
fans?
I am.
Yeah.
I definitely am. I grew up as a Cowboys fan, thanks to both my dad and my stepdad. I watched every game growing up. Nowadays, I don't watch football at all. Nathan doesn't watch sports. We don't watch
Motocross.
sports. We watch motocross.
I'm
but
kinda
we
with
don't
Nathan.
Family, but back in the day, in my middle school and elementary school years, it was very much eaten up with the Dallas Cowboys.
That was the last time they were good.
Yeah, that was in the good 90s. And that's when they were great. It was fun. And yeah, absolutely.
I shouldn't talk. I'm a Giant fan. The Giants suck, so I shouldn't talk.
Yeah. I don't think I have watched. I don't think I've watched football. We've been married 19, so I haven't watched football in probably 24 years. Just the truth of it.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
stadium's nice.
Stadium is nice. Yeah, say
Stadium
that.
is nice.
Yeah.
We watch Supercross there every year.
Yeah,
we go
yeah.
and we get the tickets and we go and we enjoy the stadium for sure.
That's cool.
All right.
Yes, I got-
Any other questions on any of the three of us? Any of us? I'm
Oh,
good on
somebody said
questions.
they were just in Little Elm. You were 15 minutes from us if you were in Little Elm.
Well, I'm familiar with the Buc-ee's in Denton. So,
Okay,
yeah.
then you're 10 minutes from us if you were at that Buc-ee's in Denton.
so that would be just before what is that? Texas University. What is that? What Texas college is
North
that?
Texas University.
Yeah, North Texas. Yeah.
That's where Nathan graduated college from.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yep.
I'll
I
tell you
went
what,
to
that stadium
CFU,
is.
I went to the
stadium is-
other university right next door.
Yeah, that stadium that you can see from
Okay.
the highway there before it veers off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you
Okay.
ever end up there, please come down and see us because
Yeah, you're
you're
not far at
literally
all.
10, 12 minutes from us.
Well, yeah, I go to Texas 4 or 5 times a year. My daughter has tournaments there, so it's always either in Houston, San Antonio, or Dallas. So yeah, we go there quite a bit. Yeah,
So you better come see us soon.
we'll do. We'll do.
I'll
I
call
can't
you
remember if anybody has asked this, but what are y'all's favorite flannels from your own, your own line? Like, kind of
back. I know mine.
collect.
My very favorite old one is called the Dealer. It's a black, white, and a baby bit of red.
Yeah.
And then
Nice.
my newest favorite is coming in October of this year.
Cool.
And Nathan's new favorite comes next year.
Next year.
January, February of next year. I'm not sure what Colin's very favorite is.
I got so many of them. They're all like personal little,
Yeah, they're all
yeah, personal little kids, man.
They're all your babies,
I always look at the flannels as a track and an album, right? So every
Yeah.
year, 2026, we
Yeah.
have all these tracks and album because it's
That's
all,
a good way to say it.
it's all, at the end of the day, it's stuff that was, memories, pop culture, stuff that I was
Great.
into as a kid, something that I've seen. I mean, if you look through the camera roll on my phone, I have very odd pictures on there of literally I see something and I go, oh man, that's a cool colorway, and I snap a picture of it, and it's a picture of nothing. But
Yeah.
it's for me to it inspires me for colors for a flannel in the
Nathan
future.
said he has something to say, so let's see what his I don't know what his
No,
favorite is.
like Colin says, what's your favorite? So when people ask me that about hot rods, I always have a simple response. My favorite one's always the last one.
Yeah.
And I'm not evolving correctly.
Yeah.
So the favorite one for me in the hot rod
Yeah.
world is always the last one that I have built. And if it's not, then I got to go back and see why.
Yeah.
So for me,
That's a great.
yeah,
that's great.
the latest creation should be your favorite because it's natural evolution of your skill, your talent, your craft.
Well, I do love this one.
This one's very good.
That's like at a concert when a musician
Yeah.
wants to play their new stuff because they
Yes.
love their new stuff, and you're like, oh, everybody else wants to hear the old
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Their favorite is their last song.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
great
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Great way to say it.
The dude from Radiohead, he refused to play Creep for like 20 something years or something.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, because he was sick of it, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go, Ant. Cisco kid. Ant Ox is a Giants fan. I have to reconsider my subscription to his channel.
Whoa. Let out his honesty
Oh
there.
man,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's one thing about me being a Detroit fan. I mean, other than Boston, you can't really hate on somebody who's been so
Yeah, you don't-
for so long.
You don't get a lot of hate, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I think we're all wrapped up here. We do appreciate you guys being on.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
It's been a
It was
great
good to
episode.
meet
I
all you
really do
guys.
appreciate the you guys coming out, and that story alone was worth our time. That was an amazing
Yeah.
story. How it all
We got a
started. You guys
lot
being
of those
childhood
good
friends.
stories, sir. We got a
Yeah.
lot of good stories.
Awesome.
Hope you
Awesome.
come on in the future.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you're more
Most
than welcome to
definitely.
come back anytime.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I used to
we
rock the
really-
bucket hat back in the day too, man.
Yeah,
So
oh,
I
yeah.
like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's all he wears.
It's a beanie or a bucket hat, one of the two.
Yeah.
man.
And
Nathan,
that
that was actually asked in our chat.
Yeah.
Is that bucket
Yeah.
hat available on your website?
not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
All
We're
right,
working
some of
out those
questions on it.
details.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the only one that has them right
Yeah.
now, but they're coming.
They're coming.
All right. So, Anox, what's coming on next Tuesday, bud?
Next Tuesday, we're going to have the man, the myth, the legend, Daniel Lubier, one of the
All
greatest
right.
hat makers in the game, coming on.
Yeah.
Very excited about that. So that'll be next week. And then we got a bunch of good shows after that. Well, we'll take it 1 week at a time as far as our announcements go.
Awesome. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for taking us on.
Appreciate it.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
coming on,
much.
Hales.
Thank you.
It was great
Best
meeting
wishes, you guys.
Great hearing the story.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right,
Take
everybody.
care.
Have a good night now.
Bye-bye.